So I wanted to begin by just showing you the Ajax powered the Ajax powered website that we launched.
I lost my stand.
The Ajax powered website that we launched just a month ago, and this is a refresh of Ajax mapping that really is focused on making the most common sorts of tasks that you identified with online mapping very fast and efficient. So you know, if I'm doing bread and butter type things like get directions from Bellevue to the Space Needle, like I type the query, and it's like Bellevue to the Space Needle, and there's the route. It's reroutable. If I say no, I'd rather go on I-90, I drag and I get the new directions. A lot of the investment in the Ajax side over the past year has really been in scaling down the latency, scaling up the computation to the edge. We're using both content distribution networks and also edge computing, so that if you're doing this in Europe or what have you, it's going to run fast. Not only the content but also the computations for routing and all these sorts of things are happening very close to wherever you happen to be in the world. And of course, there's a great deal happening behind here. In the past 3 months, we've moved 300 terabytes of data into the mapping platform. This is a very, very rich, ongoing, evolving project, just in terms of everything that sits behind this. But what I really want to spend time on today is not the Ajax site, but the beta that we're launching in 9 minutes. So in fact, it's already up at bing.com/maps/explore. This is a Silverlight powered experience, and we really see this as the future of where mapping goes. It's a very different idea from just the conventional sort of mapping website. So it's Silverlight powered. One of the things that you notice right away is that the behavior is the zooming is very fluid, and that's because it's powered by Deep Zoom in Silverlight, Sea Dragon, as I still prefer to call it. And as we come in, of course, we're getting all sorts of introductory information about places. We also are transitioning from ordinary maps to imagery. Let me pull this up a little bit more. So we're right now in this auto zoom mode, just transitioning among different sorts of content at different scales in a way that we think reflects what many people want to see. You can change those behaviors over here. So this is a synthetic 45-degree view. You can think about it as a sort of enhanced bird's eye that's seamless. All right, so it's based on all of those 3D investments that we've been making for the past several years. So there's a great deal of 3D intelligence behind all of this. But instead of just being a single image taken from a plane from a particular point of view, this has been reconstructed in 3D and stitched seamlessly, sort of like SimCity. You can sort of pan and zoom around endlessly in this stitched view, and we've got it from all 4 angles. If you go in further, if you sort of peg the zoom, then notice we just made a transition, and now we're looking at original bird's eye imagery. So this really is a single raw source photograph. We wanted to let you see the original content when you zoom all the way in, and as you move, of course this is a single perspective. So as you move, you can't stay within the same photo. We do these sort of transitions that are a little bit photosynthetic between one bird's eye image and the next. So you still retain that sense of continuity as you move around, even while you're looking at this original photography at its maximum possible detail. And you can see things like roads turning dotted as they go behind buildings and so on. It gives you a bit of a sense of the 3D intelligence that's behind that. Now, we've also been putting a lot of thought and work over the past year into human scale. Let's see. We're near City Hall. If we click on Ledger. I don't know who do. What we're showing over here in blue casing is all the roads that we've driven down in San Francisco and photographed panoramic. So today we're finally releasing this long and complex effort at capturing across all scales, not only from the air but also from the ground. And we've been doing this in a way that involves not only thinking about this imagery as just panoramas every couple of meters, but also 3D information. So behind these panoramas, you can see this as I move. Behind these panoramas is a three-dimensional model, and that model means that these transitions can give me a great sense of continuity and fluidity as I move through the world. There's some technology here that's borrowed from the 3D city reconstruction work we've been doing the past couple of years, as well as from photosynths. That's a mixture of 3D modeling and photorealism that we think is very powerful. And of course, that also lets you connect information semantically to real surfaces, real places. I noticed that when I hold Eugene's hand up to the wall, he knows where the wall is, and when I click, for example, I get a single movement that moves me to looking at that particular facade. So this really shows you how rich the underlying information here is. When you pull back up, right, so you notice this continuous transitions across different scales. We're not only focusing on stuff that we collect ourselves using planes and vans that drive down the streets and so on, but also integrating this from the head all the way down the tail in the following sense. So I'm going to do a little search for the Met, New York. We fly down to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. When I click on Andrew, we should really get on that. So notice that in addition to all of those, to all of that blue casing, we also have these little green helium balloons that are showing up, and those are synths. Okay, so photosynths, you're all tech journalists, you know what photosynths. Anyway, so we've been integrating photosynths progressively into the map over the past year, and we consider those synths to be just as first class in terms of coverage of content in the map as our own imagery. We'll be bringing those more and more closely together as we go. So, just in the Metropolitan Museum of Art alone, you can see that there are many users who have already made synths and geolocated them and connected them to the museum. This particular one by Tino2 is I just discovered this morning. Actually, and this one is especially cool because he obsessively made this 1,300 photo synth in the Met. That includes sort of three-dimensional views of lots of different pieces of art in this room, and in fact, if you go to the overhead view, you can see that his photography has really mapped out this room, this whole little wing of the Met in extraordinary detail. So in this overhead view, I'm looking at this point cloud rendering of the room from above, and as I move around, I can say, okay, I want to look at what's over there on that wall. Click, and I move into this photography that he took over there. So this starts to give you a sense for how we're melding together crowdsourced and organically sourced and structurally sourced or trellis-like imagery across all scales. I'd like for that transition between synths and the streets to be a little more fluid, but that'll be for our next go. Okay, so now let's think about a scenario that's a little bit richer than just sort of a driving direction scenario. Suppose that I'm visiting my extended family in San Francisco, and I know that my niece goes to a French-American school, but I don't really know where that is. So in this case, that query, French-American school, is unambiguous enough that there was a single very clear answer, and so we're not going to show you 20 answers to hear what you want. Clicking on that, we dive in and you see little sort of radar blips showing us where that is. It looks very eager to jump that. So let's say that I'm going to pick her up and I would like for us to go out, I'd like to treat her out to dinner. What's nearby is one of the suggestions that we get over here as a comment, again, with that kind of decision engine. What are the tasks that we want to follow on with as we do a search typically? So clicking on what's nearby pulls up another app, and what this app is doing is surfacing all of the very rich information that we know about entities nearby this spot that I've just searched around. So I can filter down and look only at restaurants, and here are a bunch of nearby restaurants. And when we were figuring out which